Patrick Crowley emailed all members of the state committee that he was reporting apparent multiple violations of campaign finance laws by the current party chairman, Jim Jones Lyons, as I call him, to the state agency, the OCPF, it's called, the Office of Campaign and Political Finance. And this is all involving a story that I broke earlier in the week about a private eye company, and the private investigator in the on the North Shore was demanding $53,000 for an investigation of basically Mara Healey's sex life that he ran. It was set up by Jim Jones Lyons, and then he, according to the emails that Crowley turned over to the cops today, he was trying to push the payment off to this PAC, this political action committee that had been set up. And the interaction between the state committee and candidates and any political actions committees is specifically banned. But he didn't care, and he got a legal opinion. And I tweeted all this stuff out. It's, if you follow me at Howie Carr Show, you can read the whole thing. He got a political opinion saying he couldn't interact with this PAC that had been set up by pro-life people, and he didn't care. He just told this private investigator who was investigating Mara Healey's sex life to go to get the money from them. It's a total disaster. The whole thing is a disaster. He owes all kinds of people money. They're circulating a letter today to get people to sign up for how much. I'll tell you more about that afterwards. We're joined by John Fetherston. He's a former candidate for state rep as a Republican. He was running briefly for state chairman himself. He's dropped out of the race. He'll be involved with Amy Carnevale when she wins. And he worked with Jim Lyons. Jim, how much? John, how much does Jim Lyons owe you? He owes everybody in the state, it seems like.
You know, what is Jim's word worth, Howie? We can't put a price tag on it. What's dumber, Howie? Kamala Harris, or thinking that Jim Lyons can continue as Mass GOP chair?
Well, he thinks he can continue.
Well, you know, that doesn't mean it's the right thing, though, right, Howie? I mean, he's broken his word. He's broken his trust with too many people, and it can't continue. It just can't continue. You know, we did a podcast together, the official podcast for Mass GOP, and, you know, he made commitments to me that we didn't fulfill because he said that he had to take time to pass question 4. Well, Howie, how'd question 4 work out? You know, question 1 and question 4 don't get talked a lot about, you know, because we've got Maura Healey as the governor now, but it's going to come back to bite us in the butt that both question 1 and 4 have devastating impacts, and that can all be traced back to Jim.
Yeah, he didn't do a very good job fighting either one of them. How much money does he owe you, John? You ran this podcast. He had to set up a podcast to get money from the Republican National Committee. So I guess he took that money, but did he ever pay you for your services to him?
He paid me for some services. He hasn't paid me for all. No, he has not. No, nope. So we're close to $1,000 here. I'm not going to push it because it's not a bigger issue. The bigger issue is just making sure that we get Amy elected as the next Mass GOP chair.
What would you tell all the people who are standing in his corner, all the, I call them the Kool-Aid cult? What would you tell them, John Fetherston?
That we're at the brink of losing our party in Massachusetts. I heard you last hour talking about how we're becoming a third world country because we're not protecting the border. Maura Healey's been the governor for the last 2 weeks, and all she's talked about is the weather. And she hasn't talked about the real issues impacting Massachusetts. We're at the break point right now. If we don't right this ship, we don't have a Mass GOP in this state anymore. And this isn't personal. This is about party, and it's about having an adult in the room. We need an adult. How can we demand fiscal responsibility of the liberal left if we can't pay our own bills, Howie?
How much do you think he owes? How much do you think he owes across the board? I mean, I hear estimates.
I'm hearing over 100,000. Over 100,000.
I think it's a lot more than that, actually. Yeah. It's.
I hope I hope you're wrong, Howie. But how are we going to pay it? Because we've lost credibility. Why would you donate to Mass GOP right now I mean, is it going to be money well spent? No, it's not. That's why we need Amy to right the ship, to restore order, to be the adult in the room.
All right, John Fetherston. I hope you get your money. I hope you get, even if it's just $1,000. I mean, you shouldn't have to get stiffed. Nobody should get stiffed. All right. Thank you. Thanks for being with us, John. And I appreciate it. And people have got to wake up. Everyone's being asked in the Mass GOP State Committee to sign a letter tonight saying, Jim Jones Lions, come clean on how much we owe, how much the party owes. Not that he's going to listen to the letter, but we'll find out who stands where. I'm Howie Carr.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
844-500-4242. 844-500-4242. That is the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. You know, it's going to be very interesting to see who signs this letter, this open letter to Jim Jones Lions, to ask him to release all of the people he owes money, the names of all the people he owes money to, the party owes money to, and because you're going to see who's still on his side, who's with him in his attempts to finally finish off the demolition of the Massachusetts Republican Party. I'm told that there's a deadline of 9 o'clock tonight, and we'll have an update. We'll tweet out an update tomorrow morning on who signed and who didn't sign. And one of Jim Jones' party members, you have to live in the district. There's a picture of her that was put out by her real estate agent. She's holding up a soul sign in front of her house. I don't think she lives in the district anymore unless she's rented an apartment. So I guess she can't vote for Jim Jones.